What has TCG done for you, right? What makes us different?
I have something to compare to. You know, I did come from a brokerage, and I think the biggest thing is being able to know that you always have my back, always. You know what I mean? It's tough being a mortgage broker. It's, you know, between dealing with clients, between trying to get deals. You know, when deals are coming in, you know, everything's great, but when, you know, it stops, you know, you feel like crap, you know what I mean?
100%.
And it's very easy to get depressed and worry. And I know that you put things in place when things do go down, you know, when a deal's falling apart. I know that I can rely on you. I can rely on other team members. Somebody's gonna help.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
All right, this is Real Talk with Carmen Costa. Today, so I'm going to make mention of this.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Dee messaged me. She's like, hello, when are you going to have us on as guests? I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should.
Like, do you know who I am? Do you know who we are?
Now, do you know who we are?
Do you know who we are?
You got to change your tone
I do.
there.
I got to change it.
Anyway, so I brought Eric Spada and Dee Sgro. I want to say Dahlia Sgro because you're also known as Dahlia. They've collabed together, and it's the Sgro Spada Financial Group, right? No.
Just
We
Sgro
gotta add
Spada.
it, just Sgro Spada.
Sgro Spada.
Remember, we're trying to...
Yeah, that's right. You're right. So I wanted to ask a couple of questions. I'm so glad that you guys just want this to be like a flow conversation, right? So why Dee? So I'm gonna focus on you and your you know, perspective on everything. Why Eric?
Hold on. What did you want me to say?
Hold on, here's the notes.
You know what? When I first met Eric, I don't know, there was just something about him that, you know, I liked. It was like Glenn, when Glenn Silva was on our team.
Oh, Glenn, that's right. Shout out to Glenn Silva, TD.
You know, I automatically connected with him. He was down to earth, cool. And, you know, I had that, you know, with Eric as well. I liked all the things that he was doing. He's very good at, you know, the marketing and...
hard worker.
He is a hard worker. You know,
He's a king bee. No, he's a king working bee.
You know, he's done, you know, really well this year. And, you know, we've done a couple of podcasts together, and it clicked, you know, it felt right. And I was thinking of, you know, where should I go with, you know, Sgro Financial? It would be nice to team up with somebody where apparently I don't work, where I lack, you know. Eric is very good at, right? And yeah, he's like a brother to me here.
Oh, Jesus.
You know?
Yeah.
I love Eric.
Eric, why Dee?
Well, when she called me, so we had been joking around about this for probably about a month, just here in the office after podcasts or whatever the case may be. And we had some other names, which we cannot mention, just to be above board. But and then she, just during a conversation, she popped the question.
I did.
She proposed. And I was like, are you serious? I'm like, and it just took me back. And, you know, I didn't even hesitate. I'm like, let's go, let's do this. Now, Dee's got great experience. She's got her personality, you know, I feel matches mine. We can joke around. She's light on the jokes. You know, she doesn't take a lot of things, you know, to heart. Like, you know, you got to watch that kind of stuff because personalities have to match. And, you know, I just think with how she came up in the industry from being an underwriter at first and working for you as an assistant and kind of, you know, building her book of business over the last, you know, 5 years, 6 years, it just felt good. And as she said, I mean, we clicked from the first day you took that picture.
Yeah.
You know, first agent, last agent, because I happened to be the last one in at the time. It just we clicked, and all the little events that you had, we always talked and whatnot. We talked about lead gen platforms, and we balanced that off, and you know we ran into a couple situations with lead gen. And to know that we were of the same mindset right off the hop with that, from a transparency perspective, from a how are we going to address a perspective, that gave me confidence that there's not going to be, I'm sure we're probably going to butt heads at some point.
Sure.
But it gave me confidence that it's not going to be like a tenacious relationship, right? So, that it was just, it's kind of like, when it feels good, when it feels right, it's right. There's really not a lot of words you could put to it. It just feels natural.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question goes to both of you, whoever wants to answer it. Why the collaboration?
Well, we both want to grow our book of business, right? And I think that together we can 100% take both of our business to the next level.
2 words: world domination.
No,
but to her point though, I mean, we do want to elevate our game, and collectively we bring different strengths, right?
Yeah.
So, let's be honest. Sometimes it's hard for a male to, when you're trying to grow your book of business and maybe possibly have a team or whatever. If there's a lot of females, sometimes there's a dynamic there that's a little difficult, right? Because we're just, Mars and Venus, right?
Yeah.
So she brings that aspect 100%, but to be able to elevate the book, and I have strengths that Dee's not, 100% comfortable in.
Yeah.
And she's got strengths that, maybe I haven't even experienced yet, right? So it's just about leveraging each other and just elevating our games collectively. I mean, I don't even know how long, it's 2 months or whatever it's been that we started this real hardcore conversation. There's been some situations that have occurred, and from 2 months ago to now, Dee's got a whole different perspective.
100%.
Right? So I'm seeing that, and I'm like, okay, so I hope it's a positive influence.
Yeah,
that I
no,
have.
for sure.
But I know that, we were just talking about a deal, actually last night, 45 minutes. I'm like, Dee, I've never done a deal like this. Help me out, right?
Yeah.
But the thing of it is that the almost year I've been with your firm, Carm, I've talked to Dee, I don't even know how many times before the collaboration, and she was always ready to take my call and answer the call and go, this is what you should do. And then it kind of switched, and I'll never forget that call on a Saturday. And you called me, you're like,
yeah,
I got a question for you. And I'm like, whoa, here we go. You know who I am.
Yeah. No, you know how sometimes you look at a deal and you're like,
100%. I'm doing that now.
You know the answer.
You do know the answer, but you need to bounce it off somebody.
But
The
you
reality
need to
check, or
someone
100%.
the sanity check is
and
what I
it was
call
like, and I used to do that with you
all the time.
And then you're like,
I don't hear from you guys anymore, so it's kind of sad.
Yeah, so right. So
Sorry, Mom.
so I messaged him and I'm like, I just need you to look at something, and I know this is what I believe it is, but just confirm it. And it took him like 5 seconds to look at it and said, oh yeah, what you were thinking is right. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy that I have someone that I can, rely on, because, everyone gets busy. You're busy. I know you say you're never too busy for us, but sometimes you just need...
so I always answer your phone, Dee.
No.
Not mine.
Oh,
No.
get out of here. I'm the, what's
She
up,
does.
Eric? And then...
No, but
what's up, Eric?
It's that moment where you just need that answer right now. And
For sure.
She may be with a client. She may be in a podcast or whatever. And it's like,
For
oh my
sure.
God, I need someone right now. And
Eric's that guy.
Eric's that guy.
Yeah, so it's been good. I mean, from the vision, I mean, we've been going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, we have.
Since we started. We, funny, because we were like, January we'll launch this.
Yeah.
How about 3 minutes from now? Because that's what it ended up being. It's like, okay, logo, this, that, and the other thing. Talk to the girls, this, that, and the other thing.
I didn't get a shirt, so I made my own shirt. Did anybody take a picture of that? With
Her bag over her head.
I'm
somebody
wondering
did.
if
Somebody
I
did.
think it
Somebody
was my
did.
husband. But
Yeah,
yeah,
somebody
so I
did.
really do want a shirt. I'm just saying. So
Okay.
yeah, Eric, it's okay to get a shirt.
$27.99 plus shipping and handling.
We'll purelate it.
But here's something I want to ask you guys, on a serious note. What has TCG done for both of you? We talk about there's so many broker houses out there. Dee, I've heard your perspective. But like now, so being at the top is hard, right? And I'm going to be like serious here. you do things transparent, and I always find that transparency is so hard because you're trying to do the best for your agents, and it seems like you're always going like one step forward, 10 steps back, one step forward, because you're constantly trying to have everything flow with your pays, with everything. And you know it, I don't keep your pays in the account. It's in, money out. That's my logo to Shannon. Money in, money out. I don't want anything held. And that makes for a hard, because it's flowing constantly. So I just want to know, like, from both of you, why TCG and what has TCG done for you? Like, Eric, you've been here a year. From the moment that I met you to today, I can't even express how proud I am of what you've done. Like, your accomplishments, I believed in you. You still owe me a dinner. I'm just saying. So I believed in you. D, by it, like, you're one of my, like, it's just an overachiever, right? Like, it's amazing. I believed
Just
in you.
not in steps.
But I know. But you, like, I remember in the boardroom, you were like, I don't want to do this, Carm. Don't make me do this.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you push people, they think they're like, oh, she's just trying to get rid of me.
Yeah.
But I see something different in each individual. I don't look at you as a threat. I look at you as she's going to build an empire. I can see it in her because even when you were, running the book, you went from doing how many deals to how many deals, and you handled it like a boss, right? And the way you were managing the team, Edward, Glenn, Aaron, the originals, you were so awesome at it. You always had my back. So when I did push you out, it was like, you have to do this step. And you were like, don't make me do this. I don't want to do this. Don't make me do it. I'll just stay here in my comfort zone. Yeah. But some people, when you push, they look at you and they're like, why are you pushing me? So it either can go in a positive way or a negative way. But I want to know from both of you, each one of you, what has TCG done for you, right? What makes us different, right?
Well,
we actually talked about this on a podcast.
Yeah, we did.
The one that I just posted.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah, like, I have something to compare to. I did come from a brokerage, and I think the biggest thing is being able to know that you always have my back, always. You know what I mean? It's tough being a mortgage broker. It's, between dealing with clients, between trying to get deals. When deals are coming in, everything's great. But when, it stops, you feel like crap, you know what I mean?
100%.
And it's very easy to get depressed and worry. And I know that you put things in place, you know what I mean, to keep us motivated. And it's not just something that you do, on the 1st of January where, everybody's like working out, everyone goes to the gym. You do this like every week. Every day you send these motivational messages. For me, it's huge. I constantly need to be reminded to be positive, to be grateful. You know what I mean? Because it's hard. It's hard to do work and life balance. It's very easy to just work. But then everything else in your life is going down, right?
100%.
And you are a constant reminder of that. When things do go down, when a deal's falling apart, I know that I can rely on you. I can rely on other team members. Somebody's going to help. And that's huge for me, is just the support is number one. Right?
That's awesome. Yeah. Dee, you've come a long way. Like, I want to make a note about this because I do remember that boardroom talk and you're like, don't make me do this. You're like, do you think I can do this? And,
oh, yeah.
There were tears.
I cried.
Both of us did.
I cried.
But more because it's like a parent, right? Like, my daughter walked to the gym floor for gymnastics a week ago, and she was shaking. She's like, I don't want to do this. And I looked at her and I'm like, I'm emotional. So I'm like, no, I don't want to cry. I'm like, Zendaya, you can do this. You got this. I feel like it's the same way when you're looking at an agent, you're like, I believe in you. You can get to where you need to be. And then there's skepticism. They look at you and they're like, I've never even done a deal. Like, you expect me to do 10 million? Like, get out of here, right? Yeah. But the first step, and I think people forget, is believing in you.
Yeah.
It's putting it out there. It's putting it on your vision board and saying, I am going to do 10 million. And you find vision boards, like, I'm huge on vision boards.
Oh, yeah.
You have to do that vision board, because if you don't believe in you, how am I going to assist you, right? Like, we have those down days. We know we have those down days, and it's okay to be that. But if I'm having a down day, I expect my team to pick me up, and they do. right? So it's a two-way street. But Eric, I'd love to hear from you.
So, coming from I'll dig into a little bit of my personal side here. People say I'm a negative person. I'm a realist, right? I've always been that guy, like, this is what it's going to be. Like there's no negativity to it. It's just the reality of it, right? And okay, it can come by negative, but you operate on a frequency that's like up there. So you have a high frequency at all times, even when you're not in the greatest of moods. Yes, you can still tell there's something bothering you. You've had a stressful week, whatever, but you still try to maintain a high frequency. So I'm trying to every day maintain that high frequency to elevate my game, just because, and again, we talked about this on a podcast that Dee and I did, where there was, 3 solid months. I believe I was on a high frequency internally and externally, and things were flowing. They were just rocking. I was number 1 1 month.
For sure.
I was on the top 5 3 months in a row, right? And then I don't know. Maybe I got burned out. The fuel got out of the tank, and I crashed. And I could find myself being not so high frequency internally and being a little bit negative, and no, shit wasn't happening, right? Yeah. Sorry for the S-bomb, if you will. But you bring high frequency. By doing that, I believe you naturally elevate everybody's game. Okay?
100%.
So that's what, coming from where I came from, where there was like not even low frequency, there was no frequency where I came from in this industry, and no support. We have a team of, I don't even know what the team's at now, so I apologize, like 50, 52?
64.
Madonna mia.
Yeah.
So 64 agents that are on the chat that, they're always responding to each other. I said it before, we're all competitors, but we're like a family, right? So people are helping each other get the deal, get the answer, whatever the case may be. Think about it outside the box. You're always there, except after 5, you don't answer my call. But
get out of here.
She always answers my call.
Always answers her call. Because it's Sgro. If it was Spada Sgro, she would answer my call.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, TCG has helped me. My business, funny enough, just the other day, I went onto Scarlett and I looked at my number. First time I've actually looked at it. My business has grown 6.5 times from last year to now.
Oh, I thought you say since you met me.
No, but you owe me a lunch. I'm just saying.
A dinner.
Oh, a dinner.
It's
That's
a dinner.
right. And not a cheap dinner. I don't want to go to McDonald's.
No.
What did we do in that interview, though?
No, we're going to A&W.
I'm not going to A&W.
That's more expensive. They got veggie burgers. It's good. Don't worry.
They have plant-based.
Yeah, plant-based. No, we made that bet, whatever it was, February or March or whatever. And,
I'm going to on this dinner, too.
Yes, you and Vito are coming as well.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for you, though. Who do you think I am?
How much did you think I did?
You were number 1.
One time. But no, TCG is actually it's brought me into a spot within the industry that it's like your belief, like you just said, even this Halloween in the park, you're like, this is what I want you to do, and this thing has like just launched itself.
So we're going to talk about that. So I love that, Eric. I love everything about when I put things in front of you, you're like, I'm going to do it, and you invest the money. So I find a lot of these agents, mortgage agents and brokers, they have to put skin in the game, right? So I put a lot of suggestions forth. I do a lot of meditation. So I take care of, me, myself, I take care of the team. So when I give insight to people, I'm going to be honest with you, I do meditate on it. So I'm like, okay, is it a good choice? Like the Halloween in the park. I'm like, because you had asked, you were like, let's meet. And I love that about you. You're like, let's meet, let's talk, numbers. Let's talk about what you want to see me do. And I sat there and I really, when I presented it to you, you were like, huh, okay. And then it was like action. It was like a week later, you're like, I talked to them. I can get the park. I'm like, oh, okay, this is awesome. Finally, it felt good for somebody like Dee. You do the same thing. Somebody listened and they took it. And then you were like, I don't know, Carm. I don't know, like the budget. And then I'm like, trust the process, right? My new saying now is trust the process. And exactly what happened, right? So let's talk about Halloween in the park in Binbrook. Let's talk about it.
October 15th from 12 to 4 at the Agricultural Society grounds. it started with the conversation that you and I had, and then I brought Dee into the fold and said, okay, this is what Carmen and I talked about. Are you down? Are you game? And it's funny because we were just at the Binbrook Fair this past weekend, which was a great success.
Yeah.
And when we told people about it, now I'll get to the whole social media portion of it, but when we told people about it, the interesting thing was, and I don't know if you caught on, and I think you did because I believe you were at the table at the time. There was one specific lady that she's like, oh yeah, so-and-so, the realtor did the same thing. Are you taking it over from him? And I'm like, oh no. Because all due respect to that realtor, it is nothing. They're nothing of the same.
No.
And so what it was before, like I think it was 4 years ago, the last time something was done, there's a track and people were set up along the track and kids would just go trick-or-treating along the track.
We're not doing that.
Oh no.
I gave you a lot of.
Oh no. So when I told her, I'm like, no, we're having bouncy castles, 2 of them, 2 large bouncy castles,
petting farm,
a large petting farm, face painting, animal balloons, food drive, free pumpkins. What else are we doing? Disney character, Captain America. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, and it's free to the community.
That's the biggest thing.
It's free to the community.
That's
only
amazing.
cost to you, the only obligatory cost to you is if you want a pumpkin, the first $150 to bring in 2 non-perishable.
We talked about. I love that you included that.
If they're going to be purchasing from the food truck as well.
Oh yeah. Sorry, there's going to be food trucks. So I mean, if you're going to buy something, obviously
like
that's not free.
Right.
But I mean, you bring in.
She's like, I'm not paying for that food truck.
you bring in 2 canned goods or whatever the case is, you're going to get a free pumpkin, and then you're also going to get a coupon voucher to go to Howell's Farms in Fawn Hill. So that's really the only cost, which is whatever $4 for 2 Campbell's Foods or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But it's 100% free. We put a post out 2 weekends ago.
Yep.
And I haven't looked this week, but as of the weekend, over 65,000 people have seen it. Over 2,700 people have said they're interested in showing, and over 300 have committed to showing. Okay, to coming. And that's a parent going, yes. So now you take that and multiply it out by mom, dad, and in Binbrook, there is legit 2 kids per house, if not more.
That's awesome.
So we're expecting, I'm thinking there's going to be 1,500 to 2,000 people at this thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We have great sponsors.
Yeah.
We have the title sponsorship.
We can put it up.
Yeah, put it up over there. Put it up right here.
Let's put them up.
So
You're such an ass. Did you see what he did?
No.
Put it right here.
Right here. Cover my face.
But no, so we're it's being brought to you by Sgro Spada, but it's being presented by AC Renovations and Bayfront Law.
Love it.
And then we also have a friend of mine, Leo Jolliker, financial advisor for your planners. He's going to have a booth there. Terry Shaw is going to have a booth there. Sasha Stavanovich is going to have a booth there. The clutter.
Judy Ricky, decluttering service.
Decluttering services is going to be
Nice.
there. So we have people that are going to be there to help support it. It's going to be.
I said we have big like Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons,
is
O'Neill's Farm Equipment is
Freshco.
sponsoring. Freshco sponsoring. It's off the chains. It really is, and it's incredible. And I mean, I know I share it with Dee, but super proud of. It's super scared, but super proud of how it's come together. And the pumpkins are from it's called the Pumpkin Brigade. Sweet couple. They have a farm down the road on Binbrook Road. They put up this, if you don't know about the Pumpkin Brigade, go down Binbrook Road past Nebo towards Upper James. They decorate their whole front yard.
Get outta
like
here.
a graveyard. Then they have a haunted house in the barn in the back, and it's free. And they give kids candy. They give them like little pouches of candy.
I love it.
They do it out of the goodness of their heart. So for me, it was a no-brainer to support them by buying the pumpkins from them.
Right.
I love it.
And they even wanted to give us the pumpkins at cost, and I refused to.
That's amazing.
So we're like, no, you know, thank you, but no thank you. You know, you need to make a couple bucks, right? Because they're an older couple. You know
That's
what I mean?
amazing.
And so go check that out. But this is
Also-
just ridiculous.
Also, we're having vendors.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some vendors that, you know, like when you went to the fair, you have people selling bracelets and whatever. So
Okay, so who's selling bracelets?
Can't tell you.
Did you let my mother-in-law go in there?
I had suggested.
but you know, it's just if all the data and analytics from social media come to fruition, which I know they will, but again, that's the realist in me. If that does happen, we're securing this for years to come.
Yeah.
It's an annual thing.
Annual thing. This is the first annual, and this is going to go gangbusters.
I
And-
love it.
and we're so excited.
But you
about it.
trusted the process, Eric. You know, when I brought this forth to you, you were like, huh. And then you went, you spoke to Bimbrook. They allowed you to do it. And then you were like, it's game on. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So you know how you give advice out? You know, I do this all the time. I'm like, unsolicited advice. I'm going to give you advice. And then sometimes people just, majority of the time, they don't take the advice, right? But I actually, and I always say this to my agents, when I have you, when you come to me and you say, I need your advice, I don't just freely give advice. I actually sit on it and think about it. So if you give me time to process it, and my advice is pretty sound when I'm, passing it on. But it is a no-brainer. You're offering something to the community for free, right? And, you're appreciating what's to come. So you're dropping the seeds, and that's awesome. I think you guys are doing great. One thing I wanted to, before we end this, I want to know the best advice you could give to any agents coming in, wanting to come in to collab, whatever advice you deem fit, like suited, to give right now.
Well, I would say don't be afraid to invest in your business, because I used to be afraid to invest in it because you're like, deals aren't coming in and I have to put money to do this. But I find that when you give, it comes back twofold. Like it's
What I always preach.
you always said from the beginning, but you have to believe it, right?
Yeah,
You have to believe the process. Like you said, you have to trust the process.
for sure.
Yeah.
Eric?
For me, it's I use this in quite a bit of my life is have the courage to follow your own convictions, and the reason why I say that is because in this industry, it could be very easy to do things that may not be completely above board, and it may go against the grain of the team that you're with, right? Maybe you're part of a brokerage that they know if they worked a little harder, they can get you from an A lender. They can get you to an A lender, but it's easier to do a B lender, right? And they start charging fees and all this other stuff. If that's not you, then don't be that. Be you. If you want to work
I love it.
1 degree harder to get that A deal, then do that for the client. So have the courage to follow your own convictions and march to the beat of your own drum. So if that means putting on a Halloween in the park, or we're going to be part of the Santa Claus parade as well. So people may look at you and go, why are you spending your money on that, or why are you doing that, or why don't you do stuff that's free, right? Well, no, because this is what we believe in this. So I'm convicted that I believe in that. My conviction says this is going to work.
I love
so
it.
I'm going to follow my own conviction.
Yeah.
And if you can't without being suppressed, if you will, get out. Come here. Sgro Spada.
Sgro Spada.
Powered by TCG.
Guys, honestly, I'm so blessed that I have you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys have always trusted the process. You always have my back. So, I say I have, you say I have your back, but you do have my back. I can't express how blessed I am to have you both. So thank you so much for choosing TCG as your home. So for everybody else, if you have any questions, if you want any details, for the Halloween in the park, it's Halloween in the park, right? Yeah. We will post it. So Jamie will post it just so you can, attend it. They don't have to be from Bimbrook, right?
No, we
You
got
don't.
people from Stony Creek coming.
Perfect, yeah.
Absolutely.
So
It's open to
let's
everybody.
post that. Let's make sure it's out to everybody. If you have any questions for them, you can DM them. We'll put their contact info as well. You have questions for me, DM me, or you can comment below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. For everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. He was so excited, then all of a sudden he's like,
That's all. I don't even know. I can't even put it into proper words. Like,
oh, there
my
goes
God.
Dee's here.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Humidity,
Here
my
we
hair.
go. Dee's here.
my hair.
How about now? Try now. Oh my God.
Submit it and forget to put your name on it.
Yeah.
A lot of things can happen.
Hello? Hello?
So annoying. Oh my God. He's getting that title.
Getting